So which EQ is this? Oh, false spawn inside the darker area. I do like the EQ. I'm hoping the audio is going to be fine here. I'm just going to lower it a little bit. Oh. Isn't this the one where you have a boss fight in this area, or are you not that far in it yet? Is that False's arm? Yeah, it is. I was going to say, because normally it's a fight at the end versus either False's arm or her Dark Hunar, isn't it? Something like that. So the corrupted aircraft controller. I hope you're doing alright, Suziah. You know, it's the usual. I hope the audio is alright, by the way. Hope the game's not overwhelming me too much here. But yeah, if the audio is fine, I'll be able to explain it a little bit better. So just do a bit of an audio check for me there, Ion, so I can actually respond to you. Hopefully it's fine. It's good. Yeah, so I'm not actually touching anything again. The other day, I don't know whether anybody got the announcement or anything, but yeah, I might have nerve damage. So I've taken a different approach to things again and decided I'm not going to touch anything again for like the next month and see what happens. So yeah, it's not exactly the greatest, so the only thing I've clicked on today is the actual streaming, like OBS thing, the stream on YouTube, and then just retyping the name incredibly slowly, so yeah. So not the best news I would have liked to have, you know. I'm sat here thinking, oh, this will be great, and then next minute, nerve damage. So yeah, I took it a lot more of a
large-scale deployment operation in progress. All ArcSops, report to the quest counter to join the mission.
Maxi Boost. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be missing Maxi Boost because of this. I'm not gonna be able to do anything about it either. The beta was good. Yeah, I would have loved to have played it. I saw well, I keep seeing everybody in chat talking on about it. Seems like everybody's having a fun time. Is this the same EQ again, Jen? Yeah. Alright, so you just rerunning it. It would have killed your hands. Yeah, I bet. Like, I don't know how much, but if it's anything like the PS4 Versus was, then even with me like taking it easy as the God Gundam, I don't think it would have been so good on my hands. Because the God Gundam for me on Versus was actually pretty easy to use without like going all over the place and zipping around and really mashing, but what I might do is, I don't know whether you're available tonight, Ion, but I could always do just a chat stream about Maxi Boost's beta with you if you wanted, at some point. That's if you're available. Just watching Gem play through here. Hey, Young. Is that a Gelwolf there? Oh. I'm free in 4.5 hours. Need to head back out to work. 4.5 hours from now. 9. Okay, okay. Actually, no, that might not be too good because Jen will be asleep. That's true, that's true. I might be able to get away with it. I mean, Jen says I might be able to get away with it, but we'll see. So Jen's playing, obviously, and I'm just sat here. I get to chill out with you guys. It was one of those of Jen was like, we'll jump on PSO. It's like, oh, okay, fair enough. So Jen's jumping on PSO, and then immediately there's an EQ, and I'm just like, you know what, I'll just stream it for a while. So yeah, apart from that, I'm not touching anything. Like I've been completely reserved with the use of my hands, with the news that I might have nerve damage. So yeah, where there were other things saying, yeah, the best sort of thing you can do for the moment is rest. It's like, yeah, I'll just I'll take that advice to heart and just completely not really do anything. So yeah, I hope everyone in chat's alright, by the way. Say that, and then next minute Jen's got a PSE burst. Jen, how long have you had PSE bursts on for this one? Was it like cross burst twice in a row? 5 times in a row. Oh god, that's gonna be good if you get it here. Is that Zish Raider? Yeah, it is. Was Zish Raider. Hey Adrian. Jen's doing good, you know, she's just playing. Meanwhile I'm sat trying to recover from nerve damage. Oh, crossburst already? What happened there? It's just... I looked away for a moment, the next minute crossburst? Did that last burst even finish? So it just automatically triggered a crossburst. Monster Hunter looks weird, says Young. Hope you guys can hear me, by the way. I know Ion could. I'm just double checking with the audio. Jen, how... Wait, 20 seconds on your crossburst? What? What is going on here? Adrian says crossbursts always seem to happen mid-PSE burst to me. Audio sounds good. That's good. As long as the game's not like drowning me out and stuff. Like I said, we've not done a stream in like maybe 3 or 4 days. Well, I haven't because of my hands. Jen's not done one in a while. We've been wanting to get back to like Sakura Wars and stuff, but we had a run in with The Last of Us 2 and I fell asleep while Jen was playing it, so multiple times. It's not a very good game. Yeah, Jen has to try and play it when I'm not around, which is quite impossible at this point because of DG Cell lockdown. So yeah, I don't think we're going to be playing that one. Random, but what are you and Jen on in terms of ship? Jen, what ship are you on? Ship 2, she's on. Like, I've not even started a character because this came out when my hands were messed up, so I played it for like... Did I ever actually play this? Did I just play the beta, Jen? Isn't it the beta or something? Or when it first... Yeah, I got it when it was on release, and then I've not played it since because of my hands. But yeah, Jen's on ship 2 if you want to play with her. Yeah, just look for potato. This crossburst is going on for quite some time. I'd laugh if you get another one here, because I honestly want to see something similar to the one that we had on PSO2 PC. We're on the Japanese servers on launch, where we were running the EQ in the city, and we had like multiple crossbursts going on, or extended bursts going on for about an hour. Like that, I wish I'd got that on recording because that was fantastic. Oh. We gonna get another one? I mean, everyone... Yeah, you got another crossburst. Adrian says, sadly I'm on ship 3, I may have to make another character. I actually just got my gunner to 75. Nice. Jen's just busy going through because she's got her summoner leveled up. quite a bit. I can't remember what the level is on it. 65, I think she says. And she's just been going through and leveling up her other classes. First time I ever hit a level cap in a PSO game, because Adrian. I remember when they were originally doing the level caps in stages on the Japanese server. I remember hitting that cap and not being able to go past it for a while. You're missing out on all those yellow Mercedes boxes, there, Jeff. I'm getting paranoid because of all these drops here. Somebody's... No, I was going to say somebody's casted pony and then there's two ponies. We were on about this last night, saying the enemies need simpler names because of the really crazy, forgettable names that they have for the Darkers in this. I wish they'd be more simple. And that way it'd be more memorable. Oh no! That one didn't go on for like an hour. But at least you got a ton of drops. Like, look at how many drops you've got. I know we've had some like that before, but it's because I've not seen this many drops in it. Jesus, do me a favour, just look to your left. Back where you... Hang on. Oh my god, look at all those drops. Nicely ruined. What? Yeah, Mercedes crystals are really cool. I like the giant ones because they give you more money. Speaking of... Especially considering PSO1 enemies, Savage Wolf is a lot easier to remember than Fangolf. I know, right? It's like... We were on about this the other day when I was saying the only thing that I don't like about PSO2 is the fact that the enemy names are really confusing. Like, with the darker enemies on this, or with some of the more simple enemies, like the weird clown houses or toy houses that you get later on, like demonic toy houses, I just literally refer to those as stuff like demonic toy houses or like the weird clown toy things. And then with this one, you've got like the darkers that look like pufferfish, and it's literally just dark pufferfish. You know, anything that makes it easy for you to understand what they actually are. Because we were on about this, and I was saying, like, I think there was only about 4 or 5 enemy types per area in the original, and it made it so easy to remember because you only had to remember maybe like a handful of enemies. Even the boss names were easy. And the only ones I remember from this are Dark False and Zeshrader, I think. And that's only because Zeshrader's literally like a giant turtle. The only thing you remember about him is he's a false spawn turtle.
Emergency. Ears open.
Oh, I see. You might not want to stand in the red stuff, Jane, because it takes your health down slowly. Have they lowered the damage over time that does? Because I don't see that hurting you as much as it does in the Japanese version. It does do damage, but I swear in the Japanese one, you so much as touched it, and it did like, a couple of damage every second, so you couldn't stay in it constantly, whereas in this, you're actually able to stand in it for a pretty long period of time before it damages you. That's one change I've only just noticed. Interesting. Oh, look at all these drops. Let's see, Adrian says, I can remember bosses a bit more, like Quartz Dragon, Dragon Eggs, Big Varda. Varda, yeah, because of it being a battleship, and the Quartz Dragon, yeah, I'll agree with that, because this is what brought it up the other day when we were saying, like, because Jem was fighting the Quartz Dragon, and I said it's pretty easy to remember the Quartz Dragon's name, and the fact that he's a really cool boss. But apart from that, we couldn't remember anything else, and then we started talking about it, but I definitely remember that. NA characters are a bit higher tuned, I believe. Interesting. Maybe they made it just a little bit easier for NA servers. It's like, yeah, we want it to be a little bit easier. Is the EQ over or what? Ah. It's over. Sell everything. Sell everything again. Didn't you get a tree? Not a tree, a chair the other day for like 60 grand or something?
Yeah, I got my blue chair.
I was gonna say you've made a lot of money back then because you've got 151 now. Was that from a couple of quests or what?
That was from the...
We don't have old type grinding either, so all the NT gear has better stats. I can't wait to see how this this updates over time, because it's like as much as people rip on this one and say it's either boring or, you know, they don't like the large open areas or whatever their excuse is, you know, for not liking it, I still enjoy it for what it is. So I just want to see where it goes compared to the Japanese version, because of me sinking like almost 800 hours into the Japanese version. Like in that amount of time, I know people that have like 100%ed like what, I think it was Gran Turismo 5 or something. The only reason I make that comparison is because I remember a guy telling me that he'd spent over like 500 hours on Gran Turismo and 100%ed it. About it to counteract this, they've bumped all the levels in super hard to 75, which has problems because it's seriously bumped up the HP totals on bosses. Huh. So the tweaks that they're doing are basically having adverse effects. I wonder if it's Sega actually doing these tweaks on Microsoft, or like a support team that Microsoft have got that work for Sega or something. I don't know how they structure this. I assume Sega have like an Xbox branch for this now. Although saying that, didn't they say they were going to put this on Switch or something at one point? Or somebody mentioned it.
They're planning on putting it on everything.
They can put this on Switch, but they can't put Sonic Adventure 1 on Switch. Come on, Sega, stop holding out on me. I want Sonic Adventure 1 portable. They were talking about it going to other platforms. Huh. So it's been on PC for ages now. We know it's been on PS4 because that's when they introduced the shader update. So it's 2 platforms. Xbox has a translated version. And then I think Switch is the only other platform it needs to come to. Unless they want to put it on Steam as well. It's streamed to the Switch in Japan. Oh, interesting. Interesting. It's confirmed to be coming to PC platforms in North America. Oh yeah, I remember people saying that to me before. So basically, oh no, wait. It's if I remember rightly, it already released on PC, didn't it? Yeah, it's already released on PC because I was going to cover it and then my hands messed up. Or rather, my hands were messed up beforehand and it came out. And the installer had one hell of a time because it was messing up people's drives and stuff. I only just remembered that now. MS Store version is terrible. Yes. Yeah, that's what I remember, because I remember getting it from the MS Store and it messed my computer up a little bit, so I just ended up reformatting, because I've reformatted recently and lost a bunch of my programs that I do 3D on in the process. But I kind of have to thank it, because then I just partitioned my SSD again, so now my computer's really like lightning fast now. So on one hand, it was a bit bad. On the other hand, it's a good thing. So I just need to, when my hands get better, reinstall Japanese PSO2 again. I'm still missing out on all these things. Like I've missed out on GBO2 for too long. That's been killing me. Really wanted to play that again. Maxi Boost is coming out. Mass Builder. I'm behind with Mass Builder because I wanted to get on the update for that. I was going to be on the PC version of this, like the North American version, but yeah, that screwed up my hard drive. Border Breaks had some cool events. So there's a load of stuff that I could have been covering here if my hands were better. Adrian says, I'm lucky I haven't been affected by it, but it screwed up every one of my friends. Yeah, it made my my computer go incredibly slow and took up drive space that I only realized after I was checking how much drive space I have left, because normally I'm really kind of conscious about how much drive space I've got left, even though I have like a good 4 or 5 terabytes. It's like when you set yourself a sort of a limit and you're like, okay, I won't go past this point, you know, or when it goes past this point, I might be getting a bit low on space, and then you get to that bit and it's like, oh no. Some friends of mine started running a mecha-themed tabletop game, actually used GB3 NGB to help the GM design the mechs for the campaign. Nice. That reminds me, I wanted to get back on Gundam Breaker at some point, mainly because of the last video that I did about new Gundam Breaker being 100 yen now. I need to check that link when my hands are better and I can actually use them to see whether it's still at 100 yen. That's after like what, a year? I think it's either a year or 2 on the market. It's 100 yen now. Love the floating continent. I like it primarily just because of how it looks, because it's a really cool part of this world. I prefer it than the lava region. The lava region's just kind of confusing to navigate. If I remember rightly, yeah, it is. It's the caves and lava missions, and yeah, it is. It's the lava missions that are below the planet's surface, and above the planet's surface are all these floating continents with the Dragonkin style enemies on. I like the way they actually split areas up like that, where you have like multiple different environments in the different planets that you can go to. It's kind of like mixing normal PSO with Phantasy Star Universe, where you could go around all the different planets. Except that on Phantasy Star Universe, the different planets normally had just different quests that you could select from the map menu. Whereas traditional PSO, you just had like the different skinned areas. Like for instance, you'd go to Forests 1 and it'd be out in the open, and then Forests 2 was more like the central dome area. And then you'd go in the caves, and the caves had more of a drastic change to them. Because you had like, Caves 1 would be the lava area with all of the mining equipment. Caves 2 would be kind of like this nice sort of just out of reach sort of waterfall area with a bunch of caves that had walls that were covered with water and felt a little bit more relaxed in its atmosphere. And then Caves 3 was again more like mining areas. But yeah, I like the way they structured this. It does. Not seen you in a while. I would have kept up to date with you, but with my hands being all messed up, I've not been able to get back to you, man. I saw you leaving messages around for us.
Completed.
And yeah, I do have all those files still backed up from like end of 2004 till 2010. Including log files and everything. I've noticed when doing expeditions there's been some subtle background differences between Area 1 and 2, like volcanoes and cave region. You're in a cave with a ceiling but open. Area 2 has open sky. Yeah, they do subtle changes like that. It's like in the underwater region, you have like the way that in the first area it doesn't. What the? That's Nayu with Sonic gear on? That is weird. That is really weird. What did he drop? I've never. Oh god. I've never seen Sonic Nayu before. Not, like, actually in-game. It looks weird. Is he gonna summon a boss now, or what?
Truly remarkable outcome.
The original design from Sonic the movie has come to fight, says Adrian. It really did look like it. God help us. It's good to see everyone in chat, by the way. He just give you a weapon badge, that's it. No, honestly, normally Nayu, I think it's his sword version spawns a boss. I don't think it's like every time he spawns a boss, so... Oof. I want to see them include more areas in the Japanese version as well and bring them over to this. Like, it's going to be fun seeing all of the stuff that's already in the Japanese version slowly unlock in this version and people's reactions to it. But, yeah, I want to see what happens with the Japanese version, because the last areas we got, I think, were for the new class. It was the Phantom class, and you had that like crazy space boss fight between ships. Then you had the Evangelion event, which I was going to go to but missed out on. And I can't remember what else after that. Episode 4 is scheduled for August. Ooh. He has a chance of spawning a boss. Alright, so it's not always a given. Yeah, it's like... The thing is with Nair, like every single time, or almost every single time I've fought him when he's got a sword, whenever he drops the sword and you destroy it, then I've always had a boss spawn on me, but I think that might be because he spawns in mainly when I've been doing like time trials and stuff. Or the time attack quests before they changed it so that Clotho didn't give you loads of money and you ended up having to go do your dailies instead. Because they changed Clotho's quests into the dailies. Yeah, I have a plan to have it caught up by the end of the year. It's going to be cool if they can go ahead with that and have it all caught up by the end of the year. It'll just mean they'll have to be on top of stuff. Oh, here he is. My favourite boss. And whoa, he's a corrupted one? Absolutely love this boss. This and the mining quest where you have to fight the boss in that and protect the mining towers. Such a good mission, that. Watch out you don't get wrecked by him, Jen. Remember, as long as you can read his attacks and dodge, you can become untouchable against him. Watch out. And again. Careful. Oh! Oh, that looked... How did you get iframes there? That looked like he got you then. The Phantom stuff. Yeah. Love this boss, because he's easy to read, but at the same time, he can catch you a little bit off when he uses those homing shots, or when you think you've dodged him enough and then he follows it up with a second attack. Absolutely love the way that he's designed as well, and the fact that he uses jet fighter sound effects. Kind of reminds me of the dragon on Ultimate in PSO1, the one that you get to fight in the central dome that's in the frozen dome instead of the normal one. That one's like a tribute to Panzer Dragoon, and I wish they'd done something like that on this, but this dragon definitely kind of reminds me of it. Oh, come on, so far you've not been touched once? You're doing extremely good here. What difficulty is this hard? Tad. Still fine. He's not touched you once. Oh, sorry. My bad. Hey, Ed. The mecha fight with Magatsu. Yeah. Magatsu on the wall as well. Where he, I think it's on the wall where he stomps up to it, like Attack on Titan style. But that one was good. I think that one was sort of a tribute to Attack on Titan, now that I think about it. But yeah, any AIS event and the Magatsu event was good as well. And then of course you got the border break boss. The border break boss is good. And oh my god, I think I did jinx you, Jen. I'm there saying about how easy he is to read and how you can kill him without getting touched, and then next minute you just take a load of damage. Does he actually have an element to him, or is he just normal? Because I don't think he has a element in particular. Wait, so you can force him to be weak to an element? Now he's weak to fire, ice, and lightning. Oh, okay, that's interesting. First phase of Magatsu is Attack on Titan. Second phase is like Pacific Rim. AIS versus False, I think it is. On the desert mining tower operation is so good as well. I love that one. That and then the Yamato mission with the AIS. Not played the space mission enough with the AIS to really. What the? He's tired. You tired him out. You made fun of him and then he just stabbed you. Jen is playing the Demon Souls remake, says Young. Jenny's gonna kill you here if you're not careful. What are you doing? Oh, I see. You need to get him just the right place. Oh god, I just realized this kind of... The way the boss fights here, the Quartz Dragon fights kind of reminds me of, you know, the Egg Hornet of Sonic Adventure 1. I don't know why it's taking me all this time just to see that as well.
Well done. You've completed the objective.
We deserve next Panzer Dragoon game. We might get Panzer Dragoon and Scalebound in the next Xbox event. I thought Scalebound was completely cancelled. Because it did look pretty good. That'd be cool. Scalebound on the RE engine, like the new one. The bad news from recently, apart from the nerve damage, was the whole deal about the PlayStation stream that we did getting taken down because Capcom and Take-Two bombed it with copyright complaints. That was stupid, that. All it is me and Ion watching footage for like an hour or two. And having a good chat with everybody and a good laugh about the design of the PS5, and then next minute it's just like, no. But yeah, in terms of like consoles and stuff like that, there's no real reason to get a new Xbox at the moment. Like not even Halo at the moment, and normally that'd be enough for me, but with Halo being down in the dumps, it's risky, too much risk. Jen's having a laugh here and calling the PS5 Seto Kaiba because the amount of Kaiba memes that came out. That and the Ruta memes, and then the amount of waifus that have been made out of the PS5's design. It's like there's one waifu for the actual console, and then there's another waifu for the controller. I'm surprised they haven't made another one for the discless version. Ah, there we go, Whoa, pal. The floating facility is really cool because like I was saying when we were doing the seabed, which is the same area, just obviously down below all of this stuff. It's the same architecture, but you get to see more of the rainbow colors. It's like the way that the rainbow colors kind of highlight everything, and remind me a little bit of the ruins from PSO1. Because the ruins is basically like a giant bio-organic spaceship that had a lot of multicolored lightning in it. Would the discless version be flat-chested, says Adrian? I don't know, to be honest. I'm gonna have a look, because like, later I'll have a look for the waifu pictures, because there's so many of them at the moment. You know, just to see what designs people have been coming up with. Because you got ones that are subtle, or at least don't seem like they stand out loads, and then you've got the obvious ones of putting control sticks on the chest. It's like, come on guys, seriously. We can do better than this for designs. Ed says, I believe Microsoft still owns the rights to Scalebound, and the company decided to cancel the game because the Xbox One couldn't handle it. Ooh, interesting. That's the first time I've heard of something like that. Ed, have we got citation for it not being able to handle it? Have we got some kind of reference for that? I'm not saying you're lying or anything, I just want to actually read an article or something on it, because it just sounds interesting. It's the first time I've ever heard something like that. Because all I remember was Scalebound was going to come out and then it got cancelled. And then like most other Xbox One games got cancelled or had really bad versions released. Or the Xbox One just didn't have many games. Are you dizzy or confused? Ah. Yeah, I don't get confused or dazed. Well, I do get confused. I don't get dazed though, so I'm fine. They may have saved the game for the Series X to show off the new system's power. I mean, that makes sense. Sat here with my arms in a funny position, like, because I got my arms folded. Now my wrists are killing on both sides. What I might do is I might ring the doctors tomorrow for you guys and just see about whether I can get anything sorted or whether I can get any sort of extra help, because the other day I rang up and explained what had gone on and said I was reluctant to go the last time because of DG cells, and explained the situation to somebody else as a second take on the situation, and that's also the same time I updated the announcement in Discord, because they turned around and went, yeah, you might have nerve damage. So that kind of upset me a little bit. Here's where you can see the environment change. So the lighting's gone lower because of the time of day. And as a result, we can see more of that lighting I was on about. And it looks like you've almost got the Aurora Borealis in the sky. Say that and then one of the Oceanids lands right next to you. What happened now, Moody, says Ed? Okay, so the situation with my hands that's been going on for like 3 months, I decided to get a second opinion on it, because the last time, like last month I think it was, I rung up the doctors and just explained that it had been about 2 to 3 months, I think it was 2 months, since I'd actually, you know, had the injury originally, and that I was wondering when it would get better, or whether there was anything else I could do. And then they said, come in and get an x-ray. But because of DG cells, I'm kind of reluctant to. So I explained that, and they said, okay, give it another month. So this past month, I've been chilling, you know, I've not been doing as much. Just been chilling. And I rung back the other day and said, look, I've still had this. It's like almost 3 months now. It's about 10 or so days short of 3 months I've had this. And even though it slowly feels like it's getting better, there's some times where it doesn't feel like it's getting better. It's an incredibly slow process. Explained some of the symptoms and everything, and the second consultant turned around and went, yeah, you might have nerve damage. They said it either sounds like nerve damage or you might have a trapped nerve. So they said you can either leave it for another month if you want, or you can ring the doctors. So that's why I'm not streaming again, and Jen's busy actually doing everything. You know, I'm just doing the talk over because I want to try and heal up for you guys as much as I can. Well, for you and for me, you know. Sounds like you're gonna have to have surgery. I hope not. You know, given the current condition, or rather the current situation, I hope it's just trapped nerves, and that somehow letting them just heal over time will help. It's more likely that it's a trapped nerve at this point. At least I think so, primarily just because it's been getting better slowly over time. But by slow, I mean like incredibly slowly. Like the thing that sped it up a little bit was the ice packs. But the thing is, I think they're just a temporary solution. Like even if I was using them almost every single day, so yeah, I'm hoping that they'll just turn around and be like, okay, at most we'll make you come in for an X-ray. So I'll need to make myself a mask so I can go out for the X-ray if they call me in for that, and then I can find out more about it. Because it's not carpal tunnel. Because if it was carpal tunnel, it'd be affecting me more at night, apparently, according to everything that I've read up on carpal tunnel. So it's not that. So yeah, I reckon it's trapped nerves. So you're getting corrupted enemies all the time, Jen. Why am I folding my arms again? That's the thing that caused the problem in the first place. Go for the weak points, which are the corruption stem things. Yeah, the whole deal with the hands is also why I've not been on Discord. Primarily just because of the whole deal of me wanting to stay away from more or less everything. All I've been doing is just sleeping. Thing is, Momo mentioned this the last time and said that it might take a while to recover. So, I reckon it might take between 3 and 6 months, but it might take longer at this point, depending. Like if the doctors turn around and be like, look, it's just a trapped nerve, we can try and alleviate that, or something, that would be great. That'd be actually the best sort of case scenario I could go for at this point. What I've also got to remember, and I'll probably end up like making it some huge ass reminders that I don't do this, is when it eventually does get sorted, or if it gets sorted, that I don't go full force back into everything again and spend like another 10 hours gaming like the first day I'm better again, or whatever, because that would be incredibly stupid and risky. No, I'm not doing a 24-hour live stream. Like, I've done 12-hour live streams before, but not 24. I gotta build my way up to that.
Great work. Completed. Head on back.
Oof. Don't know whether you guys can hear that, but there's my wrist going there. Yeah. But yeah, when I described all the symptoms to the second consultant, they were just like, yeah, that sounds like repetitive strain injury, and also sounds like you might have a trapped nerve. It's like, oh great. That's all this clicking and cracking that I've been complaining about for years is probably just way too much overuse. Yeah, the problem being that because I've not really been to see a doctor given the situation, I've been kind of grabbing at any sort of solution I can, or any sort of idea of what it could be. And because there's so many things that can go wrong with all the different things in your hands, like the tendon sheaths and stuff like that, and muscles and nerves. There's a lot of different things. Of course, when you try and Google something, it always comes up with the same thing immediately of "you're gonna die." It's like the first result, so that's been fun as well. Ed says we'll stick around no matter what happens. Thanks, Ed. Like I'm not gonna lie, the channel's been suffering a lot because of me not doing much. Like it's suffered in the past couple of days, or even the past week or so, way more than I expected. I just hope I can actually get better, like within like the next half a year, you know, because I don't want to miss out on stuff. It's making me real depressed. Like I was depressed the first month that this happened because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna miss out on stuff potentially, and it hurts real bad. And then when it started fixing itself, and I got the ice packs, I was like, oh okay, this is pretty cool. Feels like they're almost normal when I have the ice packs on again. And then with them going a bit funny again recently, it's just like, yeah, I'll take another step back. And of course, me taking a step back when there are major games coming out that people have been like, dude, are you waiting for this? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm excited. And then they're all coming out and I can't play them. First world problems, I know, but seriously, I'm missing out on all the cool stuff. I don't like missing out on cool stuff. There's all the stuff that I said I was going to cover for people too, so... Is the mines. Jen's speedrunning the mines so she can beat the Transmiser. Where's everyone else at? They're probably around. I know, obviously, we get more people on Gundam streams, but because I've not done a Gundam stream and because Jen's not playing Gundam, we don't get that many people. Anything that isn't Gundam tends to not get that many views. Or people even chatting. Latam got some funny views. I'll admit that.
Notifying all personnel.
I was just about to say, you're bypassing a lot of enemies here, which is a potential experience, but I mean, if you get that mission done then... That's the wrong way. I can tell already that's the wrong way. Take the next left. Down there, try there. It'll either be over there, or it'll be in the far right. How the hell did you set that off? It was phantom stepped. No, normally it spawns enemies and other things, but I'm just... That's weird, that.
They've not spawned enemies and stuff for ages on this version.
Huh.
I don't know why.
So the alarms do nothing on this version?
Yeah.
Oh, that's strange. Adrian says, I tend to avoid Gundam, but I'm always happy to see more PSO2. I was thinking the other day of getting PSO Ep 3 on here, the original, the card game one. The only problem is, playing that, I'd have to be Jen playing it. But yeah, I do like the card game. It's fun. Telling you what cards to play, Jen. I do like Ep 3. It's unique and it's different, but it is actually a good card game. Like, once you know what cards to play that make really good combinations, it's just fun. Perhaps it's time for next gen PSO3. It'd be interesting if they did PSO3, but I think they're gonna leave it for a little while longer if they were gonna do it anyway. I'd like them to do it, but they're more likely to do like another spin-off like Phantasy Star Universe. The reason why I say that is purely because Universe did really well, and I'd like to see them do some more with that. Because they did Universe, then they did Ambitions of Illuminous, then they did Portable, Portable 2 Infinity, which I don't think ever came out in the West properly, but it had a translation that was done by fans. PSO0 was good as well, yeah, for the 3DS. If they did like a console version of that, I'd love that, because that was a really good one.
Congratulations on completing the objective.
PSO2 is technically a spin-off. Yeah, I don't like the way that it doesn't have much to do with the original story, if anything. It's just got the title and the name. I wanted, when they first announced it, you know, and they said it was coming out, I wanted it to be a continuation of that story from PSO1, but instead it's got like time travel and alternate, is it alternate universes or dimension hopping or whatever, where they mix the anime that plays PSO as a game, which isn't a game kind of thing. It's really weird. It gets confusing really easy with PSO2. But yeah, the card game was good. I'd love for them to do like a remake of that, or at least re-release it. Like release it on Steam, please. Love that. I know it's on the Nintendo system and everything originally, and they never had it on anything else, but I would like that. I know it probably won't ever happen, but it was a good game. Give me internet play and I'll be happy. Ebb 5 is apparently an alternate reality inside of a black hole. Hey Frontier. I'm okay. I'm getting along. You know, doing what I can. Given my situation. But yeah, PSO2 was weird. Like originally I just thought it was kind of like a continuation a little bit when I didn't know too much. Then we got the time travel thing from Gion, I think it was, with the introduction of the Matter board, and then everybody was saying you have to fight a darker version of yourself at one point, which is who the mysterious stranger is or something. Then you've got the resurrection of False. I was like, oh okay, I can kind of follow this a little bit. It seems like it might be a spin-off of the original. And then when they had the anime, they introduced the anime characters and said that PSO in that story was a video game that everybody played. And then the video game wasn't actually a video game, it was some kind of like other alternate dimension or something that just happened to be a game in Japan, like normal Japanese people's worlds, and then for actual PSO like people they'd cross over, so it was weird. Kind of blurred the line between game and reality. And then there's like other stuff going on that I don't quite keep track of. It's like it was hard enough to keep track of the time travel stuff before the it's a game but it's not a game kind of thing. I've been giving John nightmares this Frontier. What have you been doing? I imagine this is for like Maxi Boost or something. Like I was saying before, I've seen a lot of people playing Maxi Boost recently, and as I said before when I was talking to Ion, I would have played it if my hands were better, but as Ion even stated, it would have probably murdered my hands and put them back in a worse state than they are now, so... False Elders release is very much what made it similar to PSO1. First planet you visit has ruins, the shield, evil in a big tower, in a nice flower field he jumps out and possesses somebody. Yeah, see, that's what I mean, Adrian. Like, that kind of connected it to the original, and I was okay with that. And then they had the whole Matterboard time travel thing, which I was kind of like, okay, so this must be related to the mysterious stranger, and somehow the mysterious stranger was supposed to be, because I've not actually got to that part in the Matterboard and done that much in the story. I've just been running around and leveling, because of how the Matterboard was done. There we go. So, the mysterious stranger was meant to be you, I think, and then you had the other girl, I can't remember her name, in red and white that gets found in the story, that looks a little bit like Red Ring Rico, but with white hair from the first game, and I was like, okay, so somehow we've got some like time travel involved, possibly with trying to save her because at one point it shows her getting stabbed or something by the, I think it's either false Hunar or the mysterious stranger, and I'm like, okay, there's like time travel involved to stop this from happening because it might keep false sealed. I can kind of get on board with that. I might not be right about this. And then, yeah, the story went crazy. And I couldn't keep track of it after that. I may or may not have made a color scheme in GBO2 that I call Salmon, which is a horror for him, especially when I come round the corner. Time travel is involved since episode 2, roughly, says Adrian. Yeah, I wish the story was a little bit more clear. Like, in the first game, you only had to read Rico's notes from the holographic terminals to kind of understand what was going on. And then the Principal Tyrell's mission orders and debriefings as well for the different missions when you finish the areas. Like, they added to it, and the quests as well that you could get and do from the Hunters Guild. They kind of fleshed out everything, but so, for the most of it, you found out the majority of it from Rico's terminals, and then in the second episode it was from Flowen's terminals. And it's like I could keep up with those easily because the story was kind of straightforward. With this one, it's a bit more convoluted. And then in Ep 3, they go a little bit crazy. If I remember rightly, Ep 3, they use darker cells to transform everything into cards. If I remember rightly, at the laboratory. And then in Ep 4, which is the desert area, I can't remember what happens in there. I never got around to the story in that area properly, because that was the new Blue Burst area. You've been keeping up to date with GBO2 stuff, Moody, says Frontier. Not really, Frontier, only because of my hands. Like, for the past 2 to 3 months, I've not done anything to do with GBO2, apart from log on, just to make sure that the clan's still intact. I'd love to, but I don't know whether you've seen any of the announcements or anything that I've been doing, just on the off chance, but it's also the reason why I've not been doing too many actual streams myself properly, is just because I don't know whether I've got nerve damage in my hands or not, so I've been trying to take it easy. Adrian says, in Ep 3, Endu is apparently the son of Rico and Flowen, made by their spirits to keep False and Olga flow from the cycle of resurrection and growth of power. That's cool. Adrian says, I never felt like they actually explained the story at all. So many conspiracies going on in different quests, universe, meanwhile, felt mostly straightforward but more anime. See, that's the thing that I like about Universe, though. The anime setup that they had for it was pretty cool. It was a neat thing to experience, you know, for the first time, having PSO be structured like an anime. So, like, you'd complete a main story quest, and then it'd be like, next time on Phantasy Star Universe, and then you'd come back to it for the next chapter, like either a day later or straight after, depending on whether you were just doing it in one sitting or not, or multiple chapters in one sitting. And then it'd be like, previously on Phantasy Star Universe. It was really cool, I like that. Frontier says, I saw them, but you didn't miss much in GBO2. The Gym 3 is a bit worse than the beta version, and the Nemo 3 is a better gun cannon too. I was thinking I'd miss out on a load of suits, you know? But it seems like I don't appear to have missed out much from what you're saying. Like, there's been more Zeta suits from what I understand, but I've not, unfortunately, kept up to date with it because of everything, so it's even worse because of Max Boost being out, or the beta being out, and me wanting to have got better for that, but I don't think I'll be able to make it, which is very, very disappointing for me, because I was really kind of hyped for Maxi Boost and to try out the God Gundam against everybody. That would have been so fun. Still probably going to order it. I just won't be able to play it. Let Jen play it instead. Jen, fighting game. No. Fighting game versus everybody else. Because we know what you're like on fighting games. I'll take that as a yes. I'll order it later on then. Adrian says they went full anime though. Had intro cutscenes and ending cutscenes, or you usually put credits. I know, right? That was cool. Like, I liked the way that it was done like that. Like, you had the intro that was always there. Like, you could go and get a drink or something, or just sing along with the intro. And the outro always showed you the characters that were involved in that section of the story. It was really cool. And then it obviously showed you, like, next time on Fantasy Star Universe. And you'd always get a sneak peek of what the next chapter was like. I really did enjoy that setup, to be honest. It was, yeah, it's why I like Sakura Wars partially is because it's set up like an anime. Let's see. Frontier says, nothing too amazing recently. Simply put in the Striker custom. Hasn't been given a nerf, so supports a 2-hit kills. I mean, the Striker custom's pretty brutal since it came out anyway. Oh. I imagine depending on how they've done some of the supports, it may need a nerf, but without me experiencing it properly, I can't really say. To be honest, I've just been watching everybody else get more frustrated because they have to play with either, you know, like other people or randoms. And I've just been watching people in the venting section of Discord just being like, oh, this is BS, this. So. Ah. I'm there trying to leave my hands, like, just not do anything. And my left hand, just above the elbow, started twitching a bit. Right hand, just above where the wrist is like in the middle of the back of my hand has started twinging a little bit. It's weird because I've not even used them. Like, no joke, I've been sleeping for most of the time to try and give them more rest so that I don't touch anything. Did he just laugh at you then? I swear he like laughed at you then for a moment when he hit you. Oh, nice. That moment where he spawns a crystal on top of you. Ooh. I want to see what other units they include in GBO2, because they have Zeta, double Zeta, and I think Char's counterattack, and I don't think they'd be able to put much else in. Unless they did, because they've had the narrative in at some point as just like a show-off thing. The only thing I can imagine them doing from either narrative or Unicorn is grunt suits, but you could probably still have them in like the Jester or stuff in Char's counterattack as well, so. I experienced the Striker custom Fury targeting me the whole game when the team surrounded me and still escaped. We either need a good counter, it needs a serious nerf. With some suits, I think it's just having a really good counter or knowing how to counter it, but like I said, without me being there and experiencing it, it's hard for me to like make a call on it. Like, I'm not in favor of nerfs unless it really needs it. Like, the only one I think I've ever called out for nerfing properly was the White Dingo for its infinite stun. Yeah. Can't wait to get back on GBO2 at some point when all this is blown over. Might have to get you to log in at some point, Jem, for me so I can keep the clan alive. What, you play GBO instead? Oh yeah. It'd be interesting, because if you play it like Apex, that would be good. Dailies on GBO and just try and get better at GBO. Make you go through all the training missions first and everything. Something to think about. But yeah, hello to anyone that's showing up in chat at the moment. This is just Jem playing. Yeah, this is more like background stuff, so I have something to chat over while I'm not using my hands. If I'm not using my hands and they can recover, then I'm happy. It's better than falling asleep while Jem plays The Last of Us 2. Yeah, she's not allowed to play that until either I'm asleep or I'm out of here, because it's more the whole thing. It's not like I'm turning around and being like, you can never play this ever again. It's more just as a joke, because the last time she played it, I fell asleep for like 4 hours because it was that boring. Yeah, the way it went was, Jen would get up to a point, I'd wake up, and I'd be awake for like 5 minutes, just be like, what's going on here? It'd be nothing interesting, or just generic gameplay, and just fall asleep again. So yeah, that game, pretty boring. Jen's like 10 hours in, and it feels as if every time I look at it, it's just never going to end. What's that you casting, Jen? I was just going to say it's a version of Grant's, but I can't remember which one it is. It's the AoE Grant's, but I can't remember which. Ye Grant's, is that? Oh, that's another weird one from, I think from, was that PSO2 when they not installed, when they introduced that, where it was like, yeah, we're just going to do different versions of the same attacks? Or was that for this one? You know, like PSO1 had grants, but this has like grants, key grants, raw grants.
It's going off the Foe stuff. Because
Oh, I know it's going off like phone and everything.
But they added, the PS2, they added a lot more grants, measures, and an Earth one that we never touched again for some reason.
I was gonna say, because all I remember of Grants originally was just Grants is a giant pillar of light that's like at least as hot as the sun and just burns everything, and it's an auto lock-on move, and its level 30 is stupidly overpowered. A bit like level 30 Grants. Not Grants, sorry, level 30 Megid. When level 30 Megid is 90% chance of instant death. Any plans to start up a PSO2 clan? Jen's already in one, but I mean... Maybe Jen. If I was able to play, then I would have made one already, but... Because I can't, it's just kind of like... Just chilling and waiting. Frontier says, I'll be honest with you, even though you've been away from GBO2 for a couple of months, it's not had anything much going on it since 650 and 700 are still untouched. I mean, that may be the case in terms of introducing new stuff, but I still enjoy playing with everybody, you know? I'm going to be really rusty at this point. It's like I keep thinking I'm going to have to go on like a seal clubbing session where I just go on as like a new account and just beat up a bunch of noobs to get used to the game again. And then ask Nova just for any other tips. 'Cause I kind of miss having a laugh with Nova and everybody in chat. Yeah, Nova will give me a crash course in not dying again by shouting, "Don't die" at me. Dodge! Yeah, I still feel like I'm missing out, you know. Like, we've had the, as Voltronymous said about, the new update for Mass Builder, which I didn't miss, it was on Twitter. The only difference is I've not been able to touch that either, because that's got a new set of armor and a new region in it, which is going to be cool. They've not properly completed the new region because of the tile set and everything, but still cool having new stuff introduced in Mass Builder. It's just the whole thing. It's like the only way I can keep up with anything is Twitter on my phone at the moment, because it's not giving me too much repetitive strain, because it's a touch screen rather than me actually properly physically connecting with anything. That's the one thing I found that's quite interesting, is that using a touch screen is a lot better for my hands at this point. So if anything, I am still keeping up with stuff, it's just via Twitter. Actually, it looks like GBO2 is starting Double Zeta era. And the Double Zeta era, Cubile and Zaku 3 and Versa, other MS should be 650 to 700. Ah. See, they're speeding up with everything now by the sounds of it. I don't want to miss out on Double Zeta either. Because I imagine the Double Zeta will be a bit slow for a heavy hitter, and it might be a blue. I mean, I'd expect it to be a blue, but... Then again, with the amount of armaments the Double Zeta has, like its high mega cannon, its normal beam rifle, and then you've got all the additional things. So it's got like Vulcans and missile pods and stuff, depending on the version of it, and the giant ass beam sabers. Like you could make the other versions either a support or a raid, depending, but you'd expect the standard version to be a blue or a general. I keep referring to them as a mixture of their actual class names and colours. I love the way you can avoid that homing attack there. Well, it's not exactly a homing attack, but that massive projectile attack simply by just standing on a different level of him. Ciao. This is another one that I think I've mentioned in another stream, but still going back to the whole thing about names for enemies being a lot easier to remember. It's funny how in the actual file names for this in the game they refer to Ragnar and the other stuff here as like ants. Like it even says like dark ant textures and stuff like that and models. When you do a deep dive into the files, it's like why couldn't you have just said like dark ant or something for enemy types? It's a little bit easier to remember. So at least you kind of know what it's themed after when you mention it like that. Double Zeta might be a rage type. Wait, what? Frontier says, my look confuses me with GBO2 in an attempt to get a transformable when the banner comes and I don't get it. And when the Nemo 3 came out, I got the Zeta and the detector. Hey, at least it's not like my look or I don't get anything. I don't get anything for ages. And then when I don't play the game for like 2 months and just save up coins and then just randomly roll, that's when I got like all the versions of suits that I'd wanted previously. Sitting at level 73 and the only names I know are the bosses. Like we were saying before, I don't know many of the boss names either. Like Ragnar sometimes comes to me, but the only other ones are False and Quartz Dragon. You know. Oh, and Zesh. Zesh, because he's a giant turtle.
Take this mission to destroy this creature. Look at the description, doesn't tell you where it's from. You're like, help? So if you don't know what they are, you have no idea where you're going.
Yeah, I wish the enemies would have way simpler names. I actually expected them to have simpler names for the English release, but apparently, nah, it's fine. We'll just spell them a little bit differently. Barlodos is still the Bane as a melee user. I know you love using the Gym Interceptor, Moody. Do you have level 2? I think I do have level 2 Gym Interceptor. I'd have to get Jen to check it later. I know the last things I got were... Oh god, what was it? I'm trying to remember some of the mobile suits now. It's been 2 months and I've not kept up to date with it. You guys will be able to describe... Well, get these descriptions and probably turn them into mobile suit names for me. I'm trying to remember... There was one mobile suit in particular that came out a while ago. It has like 2 Gatling gun style things on its shoulders, and there's different variants of it. One has like a spear and a shotgun, and then you have the one with the 2 Gatling guns on its shoulders, and then I think there's another type of it. I got all of those, finally, after I originally got the spear one first. Jen got them for me, I think, in a roll. And then there were a couple of other ones that I got after that I can't remember, but... It's embarrassing. The G-Line, that was it, yeah. I got the G-Line Assault type, and then I got the G-Line Standard. That was in the last set of rolls I think I got. Yeah, no, it's just embarrassing not being able to remember anything either. Like, I'm going to need one hell of a crash course from you guys when I get sorted eventually with these hands of mine. Because it's just embarrassing not being able to remember anything. Ifrit Knack level 3 for 320 tickets. Oof! That's more expensive, and I keep saying this, but it's because it was the most expensive ages ago, was the level 1 full armor Thunderbolt for like 230, I think? But then they brought it down to, I think, 180. I could be wrong about that, but I distinctly remember like one of those units or something similar being 230 for a while. We got you covered, says Ed. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate it, you know. I really appreciate you guys sticking around more than ever, you know. It's just, with everything being the way that it is at the moment, getting little bits of help and seeing everybody still happily coming around is nice. Because when I'm sat there and I've not got much to do or anything to do and I'm just sat there watching YouTube and all I've got mainly is either sleep or YouTube, and I'm sat there feeling sorry for myself and feeling depressed and can't really do anything, you know, and because I've not had any, like, proper, by proper consultation or anything, what I mean is, like, I've not had a doctor definitively say, this is what's wrong with you, I've just been guessing for ages, you know, well, with me just kind of grabbing at anything that I can go on in terms of information about what's up with me and stuff, and it not really being sorted. Yeah, I get depressed quite a lot at the moment. So, no, it's nice just being able to come on and still find people here and enjoying themselves. Because for all intents and purposes, when I look at everything on my YouTube desktop, it says my channel's dead. Like, no joke, I came on the other day and it's like, your channel's dead, basically. My stats are way through the floor and it's just like, yeah, your channel's gone, dude. And that was really depressing, because I've not had that happen at all. Ever. And it's only since this entire thing's gone down that it's turned around and said that, so that kind of got me upset because of me working so hard to get it up to a point where I was like, yeah, I'm happy with this, I'm pleased. And then all of a sudden it's just like, nah, back to square one for you. That was really hard to take in. It's been bothering me at first, but I have to know now, Jen, why potato for the character name? I don't know whether you guys heard that, but Jen's response was because she's a potato.
I can't remember fully what happened, but it ended up being a joke from Steve of calling myself Potato.
I don't know whether you guys could hear that in the background, but yeah, it's a joke from Steam. So she turned her username into the final potato, and then it's carried along ever since. Frontier says you can either get the Gabaldi Alpha for 325 or the Gelgugar for 250. Oof. Some of these prices, man. Ooh, Hakatan. Ed says, I can tell you that 2-star MS are total pain to get recently when they first released. But eventually you get it much later in drops or tickets. Yeah, with my luck on that game normally, I just end up either getting via tickets or I get them like half a year later. You doing fishing combos there, Jen?
Emergency code distraction.
Wait a minute, what's the distraction mission for? I can't remember what foul morphers are. The ball things.
Hostiles on our right.
That moment where you just can't casting Death Hand on everybody. Oh, I see. It's a protection thing. That was one of the things that I didn't get recently was, you know, the whole deal with people saying, like, they don't like the massive amount of missions that you can do in these large open areas because it gets confusing. It's like, no, it doesn't. You can choose whether you want to do them or not. The whirl thingy. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean now. It's not the ones that explode. The bays or whatever. I can't remember the pronunciation for it. Exploding ball thingy with tentacles. That's how I go with it because of the stupid naming convention like we were on about before.
Excellent job.
Ironically enough of you to say, but with so much being cycled out of normal gacha pool, you should be able to snag some pretty good stuff and get them pretty easily. Ed says, MS half a year later, Moody. Yes, that's happened to me. Like, sometimes I've got... What's he wearing? No, he's got the Hunter outfit on. He's got the Humar Hunter outfit on. No! The Braver caught him. I love fluffy rappies in this. Yeah, he's got a Hunter's outfit on. That's cool. After my hiatus, my first 10 drop was a Shiki and a Mark II. Oh my god, lucky. Frontier Gundam says, Moody, how quickly did you get the Pale Rider? I still haven't gotten it. With the Pale Rider, I think it took me about maybe 3 months. I know I got it after everybody that I know that I was playing with at the time, like John and Ion. They all got it like the first week, and I was waiting for like a good couple of months, if I remember rightly, before I got it, because I was forever saying that it would take me ages and that I really wanted it. And then when I got it, it took me a good while to learn as well. It became like my unicorn. That it was the joke of, it's my unicorn, I have to tame it. You know, it's that untamable beast that you fight with for ages to get used to it, and when you get used to it, it's pretty decent. But yeah, the thing is, with the Pale Rider, I don't think I've got many repeats of it. It's pretty... From what I've seen, anyway, it's pretty rare. I think I might have only had like 1 or 2 repeats of it. And that's since its release. Oh, Arcs Rappies, says Adrian. They show up every 2nd and 22nd of the month. Oh, cool. I've not been keeping track of them, to be honest. That moment where you put like over 800 hours into a game and then you don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. I'm so stupid sometimes. Yeah, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught. No, you've been caught. Hey, Arx Rappy again. I love the way you've teleported in, but it's not actually putting you in.
Emergency. Code. Rescue.
Oh, there you're in. I love the giant fluffy rappies, just because you don't have to attack them, and when you don't, they just chill out and do their own thing. It's like no other enemy does that in the game. Frontier says, glad you got it easier than me. More games. Just a couple more games and I can buy it with DP. The thing is, I see mobile suits that I want in the game. And some of them I don't get for ages. Like when the Shiki and the Mark II came out, I was like, okay, I'll probably stand a little bit of a chance at getting either the Mark II or the Shiki. And if I don't get the Shiki, I'll settle with the Mark II and the other way around. And I didn't get either of them. I feel like I have that a lot in this game, but then again, it's a gacha game, isn't it? So you kind of expect something like that because the way that the game is designed, it's deliberately done in such a way that you will be tempted to spend money, which is why I keep telling everybody, like, when we play, do not spend money on it. There's no point. You know. Like, I can understand for people that really want the suits day one and have the money to splash out, or just like, yeah, I'll just do it, you know, it's no big deal. But it's kind of like the whole deal with me playing GB3 and trying to save people money by telling them not to buy New Gundam Breaker originally. It's like, if you don't have to spend money, then why do it? Effectively, it's me just continuing my whole thing of don't spend money, don't spend money. It's like I would have done a video on The Last of Us, but all it is basically me turning around and saying, look, I fell asleep because this thing was that boring, just don't buy it. It's really not worth it. Especially when we're only like 10 hours in and I fell asleep multiple times during major story elements as well. Hell, I think I was asleep for the golfing section. Oh, yeah, I was asleep before the golfing section and then woke up afterwards and went, where are we? And it's just like, yeah, we're after the golf section now. It's like, oh. Oh, yeah, that was it. I woke up and Jem was like, yeah, I've played as Abby twice now and you've missed out. I was like, oh, okay. And then if I remember rightly, I fell back asleep again. But yeah, that game is super boring. I don't know how anyone can say it's like the best game of this year. I love the way you got people also calling it like the Schindler's List of video games. Like, no, it really isn't. It really isn't. It's not good. Somebody came back to buff you and then disappeared. Frontier Gundam says, the reason why I said Nemo 3 is a better gun kind 2 is because Nemo 3 can use a beam rifle. Ooh. I like good supports on that game. I still don't mind the weapons rack, because the weapon rack packs one hell of a punch. Ed says, I didn't care for The Last of Us at all, so really I don't care for The Last of Us 2. I hate the stuff going around recently where they're saying that anybody who doesn't like it is an incel. It's really pathetic for games media to do that. Especially considering it's like, well, what does that say about them if they have to resort to that? Especially considering you'll have people that, like me and Jen, where we genuinely don't really enjoy it. It's just kind of a boring grind, and we just want to see what the end of the game is going to be like, just for the sake of it. Compared to other titles, it's just terrible, and we don't like it, so of course it's like, oh, you're an incel. It's like, wait, what? That makes no sense. Because you're indifferent about it then, Jen. You're like, it's a game.
Objective complete.
I don't get the childish insults by games media, you know. You'd think they'd take the high road and just be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, if you don't like it, it's fine. But, yeah, instead they're taking the childish low road and just being like, ha, incel. I love the way that's what games journalism has devolved into as well. It's basically petty name calling and schoolyard insults. Go back to the 90s and they'd be calling everybody gay instead. Adrian says, Last of Us never interested me, just another zombie game. Like, the first one, genuinely, I didn't mind the look of. I never really played it. Jen played it. But I never really minded the look of it. But again, like, Jen has the reaction of the second one. My reaction was, it's not something I need to desperately play because it doesn't look absolutely amazing, like drop dead. I need to play it right now. But maybe that's because it's just me and I'm more interested in, like, sci-fi and stuff like that. I mean, the channel says it all with me playing a load of mecha stuff. You know, so... Sometimes I'll go for that kind of narrative, but at the time, can't remember what else was out around the same time as Last of Us. I was probably playing a lot of other different games, so I didn't really care for that one because it was off my radar. And then the second one comes out, and apparently it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then when we try it, I'm falling asleep. Multiple points. You know, it's just like, oh, okay. This is clearly what people waited 7 years for, was for people to fall asleep because the story is that boring. Like, I'm all for a good revenge story, don't get me wrong. But if you want a good revenge story, you look at something like The Darkness or whatever on the 360, because that was a good revenge story. That actually made me feel things. I don't know whether you guys heard that, but Jen's like, I'll give The Last of Us 2 a good review if it makes me cry at the end. Like, the best way to look at it is its Metacritic score between users and actual reviewers. Actual reviewers are giving it like 10 out of 10, and the actual user base is giving it like 3.4, between 3.4 and 3.7. Yeah, we're more interested in Ghost of Tsushima and the way that that works at the moment, because that's looking amazing compared to Last of Us. Ed says, Nemo has faster mobility for a mobile suit. Frontier says, Ed, isn't the downswing faster from most supports? Oh. Ed says, I call Last of Us way too much drama for your mama. Yeah, I think kind of, not so much zombie games in general, you can still get away with zombie games, but just everybody was kind of bombarded by that many zombie games in like the early 2000s, that it's kind of gone its course apart from certain titles like Resident Evil. Resident Evil can get away with it because they keep spicing it up every now and again, apart from when they did the 6th entry and it kind of almost killed Resident Evil. Frontier says, heading off, Moody. See you around. Thanks for being here, Frontier. Hope to see you again soon. What's that? Last of Us sounds... Oh, is a bit like The Walking Dead, Jed. Oh, nice! You got an environmental event done.
Emergency. Code.
Like I said before, I like the environmental events or the environmental missions because they're pretty cool. Just go back to the lobby, we'll show people around the lobby and then we'll call it because there's time. Love this lobby at the moment. So this is the, isn't it the Sega Anniversary lobby or something? So there's all the statues. We've seen this one in the PC version before, but we got like all the Sonic statues around the place. We've got a giant one upstairs with an emerald, with some springs and some rings dotted around the place. And we've also got the Station Square theme from Sonic Adventure 1. So good. I can't remember whether Joseph uses a spear or not on this. I can't remember what his class is. Well, apparently he's a force. Oh no, wait, he has boot camps for each one, okay.
Until next time. Hello there.
I've yet to hear the actual ARX lobby music in game, says Adrian. There's the, oh, I see. Jen collects all the rings. It puts the emerald in Sonic's hand.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what it was.
You got Amy's statue down there and Tails is one, and then we got the springs as well, which take us around the level. I say level, it's actually a lobby, but... I do like this, it's really cool, especially how they've got like the Green Hill style palm trees. I wonder whether they took them from Sonic Adventure 2's Green Hill or whether they just made them for this. Because they can reuse assets from that really easily. The rings have a really shiny shader on them as well. How shiny do you want your rings? Yes. But yeah, when you collect all the rings in the lobby, that's when you get the emerald in Sonic's hand. There we go, it should be in his hand now. Hey, there we go. Where are you going now? Oh, you got the Sonic Heroes music in the Alliance, haven't you? So Jen's clanning this at the moment because she joined somebody that she knows. They have the Sonic Heroes music in the lobby. Say that, and then we go in and they don't have it on now, but... Hey, there we go, Sonic Heroes theme. Have people been watering the photon tree in the center, Jen? You need to keep your photon tree happy. You can receive the effect from it though, eventually. I like that lobby though. Really cool. Very interactive, which is nice. And the time of day does change if I remember rightly. Turn the camera around because you can't see yourself if you turn it around properly. I think. Okay. Nope. No. Okay. So it's like. So no. I thought it was different, but apparently. There you go. Jen's just sat on a hammock. But yeah, there's loads of places to sit and sleep in the tropical lobby. It's really cool. Oh yeah, the dolphin-like things that are swimming around. Whoa! No passwords. Go to gate area, isn't it? Hey, Ultras. Anyway, because we're just handing in the stuff here, we'll cut the stream. So hope you guys have all enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Bye.